Thank you. We have an amendment to the agenda this evening, in announcements for the Alton Town Clerk and Tax Collector's Office. So we have an approval of the amended agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda for January 18, 24.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and announcements. The public participation policy applies to all selectmen meetings. A copy of this is in the back of each agenda, posted outside this meeting room and on the website. Due to New Hampshire's first in the nation presidential primary held at Prospect Mountain High School, the Alton Town Clerk and Tax Collector's Office will be closed on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024, and will reopen on Wednesday, January 24th at 12 noon. Okay, public input. Seeing no one in the room, we'll close to public input and go to appointments. I don't see any appointments for this evening.
No.
Go right to new business on DPW winter maintenance, snow and ice removal.
What you have in your books, members of the board. Unfortunately, the Public Works Director had a conflict tonight, was not able to attend, so asked me to just proceed with the presentation and if there was no questions. This is basically a housekeeping issue. He went through the policies for winter maintenance and operating procedures, and his recommendation is to adopt the new language because it's based on the new DPW configuration. He also took out some of the private road stuff that we're no longer doing anymore. So like I said, most of the changes are just housekeeping in nature to reflect our current changes with the highway operations.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the winter maintenance policy as written by the Public Works Director.
Second that.
Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See, map 43, lot 40, interest waiver abatement request.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, Jennifer Collins, the town clerk, tax collector, had submitted the supporting documentation in there, sort of to outline the situation with this particular one. The woman is a member of the LLC, in which is asking for to have the $174.35 waived or abated. She claimed that there was a software glitch or whatnot, that she didn't receive her tax bill or didn't know that there was interest due. I think if you look in Jennifer's points of consideration, what she wanted me to point out to the board is that there's two billing cycles. The July billing cycle was not paid. When December came around, the second billing cycle came out. She did produce copies of those bills. The only thing that the software didn't generate interest on the second bill. But knowing that the first bill had not been paid, and looking online, she pointed out that the software is the same that you can look at online, and the statements, she included the statements online that also shows the interest that you can look at online.
Right.
She paid this online?
What's that?
This was paid online?
No.
They did not pay it. So basically what it's saying, what my understanding of the claim is that the abatement is to waive the interest because the interest is because the July bill was never paid.
Right.
But the only thing that she's talking about with the software glitch has nothing to do with why July was not paid. She was given a July bill and there was a July bill online. It just was not paid.
And she was aware there was a glitch in the system because the system was being changed at the time.
There was no glitch in the system. It was that the system didn't print the bill with the carried over interest.
Okay.
But online,
She had it online.
the interest is right here.
My only thing with this, Ryan, is it looks like it doesn't look like she's ever been late on a payment before
He hasn't.
for the last, and I mean, it doesn't look like that she's,
And she did
56
pay
years.
Everything in full in the
Yeah,
second
I
payment,
don't-
correct?
I mean, I'm
my
all for,
My understand. I mean, the issue is, more the issue or the concern that the board should just consider is the fact that the July payment wasn't paid,
Mhm.
whether or not she's ever been on time every other time. This came down to December. This email, you can see the date of
Mhm.
the email was
Oh, yeah.
after the second payment was due. And the first one had still not been paid since July. I guess the only concern is setting precedents for other people that don't.
Right. Is the
Pay the
interest
July-
only
Well,
for the first payment,
It's only
not
the-
for the second payment?
No.
The interest that she owes is only for the first one that wasn't paid in July.
are
Correct.
they paid now?
No, I believe, based on this statement here, the taxes are
The
paid. She
tax-
paid the taxes, but
I see
But the
that.
she
interest
does
is-
not want to
The-
pay the.
The interest is what is in question that she doesn't want to pay.
Mark, do you see the,
It's it's $174.
I see him, yeah, no, I got it. I'm looking at it, trying to find a discrepancy of why it wouldn't be, I mean, because it looks like she's paid it right on time every time for the last, and I'm just trying to see where there would be a discrepancy, why you wouldn't have.
But you
paid
can
it.
always call. You can always look online
Yeah,
and,
oh, yeah.
and find out. I mean, we've talked about these situations before. I mean, you don't just wait. And
she's not claiming that she didn't get a bill.
no, I know that. No, I know that, but
She's
she's,
It didn't say it on.
on the interest. It didn't say it on the first payment. Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
When I thought she was saying that she didn't receive the bill in July.
Yeah, her letter says she didn't receive the first payment invoice.
Right.
Right.
If I can, Mr. Chairman, speaking as someone who just found out he has been driving an unregistered truck for the entire year
Sorry, I had to do that.
and I don't know if it's because the notice wasn't sent out, or I misplaced it, or I ignored it, or it went to somebody else's mailbox. I look at the record here and I see a taxpayer that has paid their property tax bill on time every year for
Mhm.
53 years.
Yep.
I am a little bit wary of setting some kind of precedent, but on the other hand, I don't think it's unreasonable to waive the interest. I think it's quite obvious that this was not an intentional oversight.
No.
And so I would move to waive the interest on the 341 Trackside Road tax bill as presented and outlined in the letter and documentation in front of the board.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Bench donation requests. And I, for one, but looked into, know this particular person, and I think the request is a nice request to have a new bench put in honor of Mr. Arsenault, who was a Vietnam veteran.
Well, you had to say for me. I'll make a motion to accept the bench donation from, is it Ruth Arsenault?
Yes, yes.
From Ruth Arsenault, as written in the form.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tell if, I don't know if he is, but thank you, because that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think it's definitely warranted.
Yep.
That's just.
Okay, thank you. No old business at this time. Selectmen reports. Anyone? Richard?
Mr. Chairman, the Hazardous Waste Committee had our January meeting. Everything seems to be pretty much in order. And we're looking forward to resuming actual collections in this May timeframe. The Budget Committee had our public hearing on budgets and warrant articles on the evening of the snowstorm, which certainly didn't help attendance any. There were no issues presented, and I think the next step for us will be the deliberative sessions in early February.
Okay,
The Planning board meeting went well. Nothing new on that end really.
okay. Andy?
I have nothing. Nothing.
Rock? Nope. I have nothing as far as reports are concerned. Just want to say again, once again, thank you for all the hard work. With all the snow removal and the treatments on the roads and for these last few storms that we've had, it's nice to see how well everything's being taken care of. I just wanted to point that out and say thank you.
Yep.
Town administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I just want to make the board aware that a few meetings ago, we talked about that street light on School Street. I did get confirmation that they have now discontinued the street light that we had opted to. The one in the parking lot is still on, but they left the fixture. So at your leisure, if you want to take a peek at the illumination, see if there's any problems. We have not yet. It's been probably roughly a week or so.
A week or so.
That it's been going on. We haven't received any comments or anything yet.
Okay.
But if you want to take a look, feel free to do so. The other thing, just a quick note, that we have started receiving FEMA payments for the 2 declarations. Well, I take that back. We've received payments for the first declaration that we had finished our application and submission for on the December storms of 22. And we are halfway through, or more than almost 3/4 of the way through our application process for the July floods. So we should start receiving payments on those pretty quick as well.
So they did
What's that?
announce that a storm or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's that? July, the declaration? Yes. Yeah, in September.
Yep.
The end of September, they actually got the declaration back. So we started our process, I would say, late October, mid-October. And that one, of course, is extensive with the road damage. So the spreadsheets, and we have to have GPS coordinates and distances of damage. You know, all parties involved between DPW,
Also
their administration.
measure in and
Oh,
rock.
yes, yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then water had their water main, their water line break. We've been documenting. We just finished that one. Cause FEMA is covering the water line repair down all the way down 140 as well too, which is, will be great too.
Yep.
So, and then the last thing I got for the board tonight is this being, unless we have a special meeting, this would be the last meeting, the regular meeting that we have before deliberative session. So on the table, you have a revised copy of the warrant articles. These warrant articles are all the ones that were approved. The first 8 that you see numbered are all the zoning ones that were
Right.
approved. So I'm sorry, it's first 9.
First 9.
So 10 actually starts where our monetary warrant articles begin. You'll see on these ones that we have, what we've updated is, one, we've updated the selectmen votes. We've updated the budget committee votes. We've also added the tax impact.
Which is great.
And then we hit on the rationales for any of the capital reserves, we've included their current balance.
Yep.
And that current balance will be on these forms for you guys. So they're right there to reference, and the general public who are in attendance will have.
Can
that
already
too.
see it.
Yep.
That's
So we won't have that back and forth that we've had in the past with the spreadsheets. So the one thing I do have to establish tonight with you folks, however you want to do it, we can do it random, we can pick as we go. But every year when we do the warrant articles, one selectman is designated to move the article, one to second it. And usually the one that moves it speaks on it.
Yep.
And speaking on it can be just as simple as reading the rationale.
Right.
So we can either go down the line randomly, or I can just, if you guys just want to let me know, and Stacy and I will know as to who's gonna move it and who's seconding, and then
We
go down.
may
And then,
as well go through it and then find out who wants to do it and write it right alongside it right now.
sure, we can do that. And then we'll type it all out,
Mhm.
and we'll actually have these per page, so they're bigger. In your binders for deliberative, you'll get one warrant article, rationale, and it'll actually state who's assigned to move it, who's assigned to second it. And so each page we go through, it'll be pretty clear. You won't be reading off this lengthy list.
Right.
So, does anybody prefer to speak to move the benefit paid trust fund?
I will. I'll move it. So I'm gonna write move,
I'll second it.
Okay,
Brock. And I'll speak to it.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So then we have the town operating budget.
Who's the newest member on the board?
Oh,
Nick?
crap.
I think that's a good one.
Well, all right.
You, all right, there you go, Nick.
Oh, no, too late, buddy.
Nick,
I guess I got 11.
And I was thinking it's the same thing. Budget committee is the one that speaks to that.
Oh, well,
They
yeah,
do.
they budget.
It's a
they-
budget committee.
But they do speak on it. You're
Yeah,
right. Thank you.
budget committee.
They
yeah.
do. That's budget committee. You're off the hook, Nick.
That was close.
I saw him over there shaking.
I was like, oh, no.
somebody's gonna rat me out here in a minute.
Okay, waterworks operating budget.
I'm pretty sure that's budget committee as well.
Okay. So then we go into Article 13, town treasurer.
I'll do that.
Who's that?
Mr. Shea,
Mr. Shea?
It's
Richard?
short.
You'll
I'll move that. I'll
you'll
second
move it.
I'll second it.
Nick is gonna second, and Richard, you're gonna speak to it.
Yes.
Okay,
I'll move
Article 14,
municipal parking lot.
I'll
Brock.
second it.
Brock. Nick
That's
Andrew.
Andy.
and then you're gonna speak on it, right, bro? Okay. Okay, capital reserve fund appropriations, I'll move it,
I'll second it.
speak to it. Okay. Article 16, fire department,
I'll read it.
Oh, okay.
Andy?
Yep.
I'll second it.
Nick. And Andy. Okay. Article 17, aerial ladder truck,
I'll move it.
Oh, okay. I'll second it.
who's moving it?
Did Mr. Shea.
Second. Okay,
I'll do 18.
18,
I'll do that one.
Nick,
I'll second it.
Andy. And Nick. Bridge replacement capital reserve, I'll do that.
I'll second it.
Highway, equipment capital reserve,
I'll take that one.
Nick. Who's gonna second?
I'll second.
Nick? Okay. Retaining wall capital reserve,
Do this one. I'll second it.
who is that, Andy?
Yep.
Brock? Andy. All in Bay Community Center property, capital reserve,
I'll do that one.
Nick?
I'll
Also,
second.
okay. Grounds and maintenance, vehicle and capital reserve fund,
I'll do.
I'll second it.
town hall capital reserve, I'll do that.
Second it.
Nick, was that you?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Network server replacement, Article 25,
I'll move it.
Brock, I'll second. Article 26, new Riverside Cemetery Capital Reserve,
I'll do that.
Andy,
I'll second it.
Highway Reconstruction Capital Reserve.
I'll do.
I'll do it.
Whoever wants to.
Is that Paul usually do that one?
Yep.
Are you seconding, Richard?
Which is, who's seconding?
I can second.
Okay. Environmental Capital Reserve,
I'll do that one.
Nick,
Sure.
I'll second. Local radio communications,
I'll do that.
I'll second.
Andy. Okay. Article 30, nonprofits. I'll do that, I guess.
I'll second it.
Okay. Discontinue the old Rand Hill Road, Article 31.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Okay, and Article 32, reports of committees, very last article.
I don't even think we have to move that one. No,
Okay.
I think that's just that's, they'll read it.
Okay.
The moderator will read it, but we don't have to move or speak to it.
I think that's it.
So, obviously, this is the most current draft we have on it. There are a couple of them that you saw in there. I don't think that have complete rationales on them. I didn't end up with one on the servers yet, and a couple of them I need to update. But most all of them are in there and complete. We will update the ones that are missing one. Like I said, you guys will have a complete book anyways, but beforehand, we will, if you'd like, we can email it out. Or I can let you know that there's updated copies for you to pick up either way. But we could, but it's not gonna change from this language. We're just gonna add to the rationales on a couple of them. So I was waiting for some rationales on the ladder truck today. And it came in, it was, more of a complete justification, multiple pages. Which I just think it was misunderstood what I was looking for. So we're just paring that down and, a couple of things into a concise rationale. I mean, it's one thing we can explain further on the floor if it comes up for
Right.
discussion, but
But it's just
the
a couple of
rationale
sentences
itself,
for the
yeah,
rationale, yeah.
so I will, Stacy and I are working on editing that and we will,
When will we have the books then?
the books themselves, you can get them, so what were we talking about? Yeah, probably the end of next week.
Okay.
We have everything, because we gotta have all that supporting information.
Okay, and then you can have another copy of this then before that.
February 3rd, I
or-
think.
Yeah, this will be done relatively quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just waiting on a few loose ends
Yeah.
today that we
Okay.
didn't get yet.
All right, sounds good.
So this is the third, the deliberative sessions.
February
The
3rd,
6th.
February
February
6th.
Oh,
Tuesday, the 6th.
6th.
at 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
February 6th at 6.
There you go.
You're not in Florida, are you?
No, I'm back. It's before that.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
Anything else on,
Oh, no, that was
Administrative?
the end of it, Mr. Chair.
okay, we have no minutes to approve
No.
this evening. Consent agenda approval.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the consent agenda dated January 18th, 2024 as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There are no appointments tonight. So, and we'll open the public input, but seeing no one here for public input, I will close public input. This, I know it's funny, isn't it? At this time, I make a motion to enter into non-public per RSA 91-A:3(2). I'll take a poll.
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
Who's second?
second.
That was the second.
Brock seconded.
All right.
Okay,
Very good.
all right, we're in non-public.